I hear a lot of like you kind of navigating the camera side of you said you were PA, then I believe you said you were kind of like an AC. Did you ever kind of delve into gaffer key grip world or like the lighting? I'm curious as to how you started to figure out the lighting side of things because that to me was the hardest thing to overcome was trying to figure out lighting as I was growing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I did not really work as like on the G&E side at all. I have a pretty funny story actually. There was one job that I worked as a gaffer for a good friend of mine. I think that's the only reason that I got hired because there was definitely like no uh, resume or skill set to back it up. And we were shooting in some old studio, and um, there was like an old tungsten 5K head, like standard
Hmm.
old tungsten studio package that comes with it. And my buddy went, called for that to. He was like, "Yeah, let's just get that 5K on and put it over there." And so I get it set up, and I turn turn the light on, and like within 60 seconds, the entire head just bursts into flames.
Oh no.
And it turns out that those old 5Ks were they were filled. The inside of the heads were filled with Christmas lights
Oh
because they
my
had just had a
gosh.
holiday party and used them as props.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was my one experience working as a gaffer.
Your one and only. That
My
was
one and
it.
all. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, so learning to circle back. Sorry, I'm like super ADD brained, and I'll
No, that's
probably like
that story was brilliant. I loved it. Yeah, it's good. I love moments like that. It really
yeah,
does. I love it.
yeah. But yeah, the learning lighting. I was also like, I think the biggest challenge coming up. And I feel like I guess I learned it from being an AC and being able to like be close to the DPs that I worked for and just observe and like when I could ask questions and yeah I because yeah, cameras I was always super comfortable with and I understood exposure pretty well. But the first like kind of half of my career at this point, I feel like was like a lot of time was spent trying to learn how to like make things look like how I wanted them to
Right.
with light. And so yeah, I guess a lot of that was just from coming up working under other DPs and then shooting stuff myself and kind of failing at it and
Mm.
failing at what I was going for and going back and thinking critically or running it like being like, running it by other people, asking other people, hey, like, I was going for this and I don't think I was successful. Like, do you have any feedback?
Mm. Mm.
And so, yeah. Which
Just
is
being like
funny
really
because
like kind of self-critical a little bit about your own work, and that I think there is something good about being a little self-critical of your work to be able to continually improve upon it.
yeah, totally. I think I'm like my own biggest critic, probably to a, like almost like a detrimental, like but no, yeah, I mean, I think it is definitely a good uh, attitude to have if you're looking to actively, improve.
Mhm.
But it's funny to say that like all now, like I've been telling people recently, like lighting lighting is like the has become like the easy part now. Like it's
I
actually
so agree. No,
right.
I
It's
don't
no
want to say
longer
I
a
don't want to say I
mystery. Yeah.
agree. Yeah, I don't want to say I agree. Like lighting is easy, but I definitely have a such a better understanding of it now, and it feels. I think I feel more passionate about lighting than I do camera now than I did before personally.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, no, well, it's like, yeah, maybe not that it's easy, but I think like, the mystery of it has been
Mm,
taken away a little bit. So like, and I feel like I have control in a way that I didn't used to, you know?
mm,
Um, uh, because like, yeah, I guess it's just a mix of like, um, I mean, it really, once again, it just comes back to exposure and how you like to expose, and then knowing what lights to get you in the ballpark that you want to be in,
right.
basically knowing where to
How
put
is your do you think your relationships with certain key crew members like Gaffer and your key grip have influenced kind of how you learned how to light as well? Have you brought on people that helped educate you while you were coming up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a great point, actually. That's probably like the other half of how I learned how to light was just, when I finally did start shooting, or like, I guess like get it when I did start shooting professionally, more, and was able to, hire, and work with crews, that were, on another level, then
Yeah.
I definitely learned a lot very rapidly, through collaborating with like a lot of different gaffers and key grips.